Hi everyone, welcome. I'm Sara Kahn and with me is Stacy Roy. We are both certified nutritionists specializing in digestive health. First, we hope that you are safe and healthy. We know with the COVID-19 pandemic, this is an incredibly unsettling time. We know you want to support your immune health, but there is so much misinformation being shared. So we wanted to make this video to provide you with some simple, natural, and most importantly, evidence-based ways to support your immune health. First, we want to give you a disclaimer. So we want to mention, again, we are nutritionists. We are not doctors. We are not claiming that this information will prevent, treat, or cure COVID-19. So please check with the CDC and your local resources for the latest recommendations on hygiene and social distancing. We simply want to empower you to support your immune health by educating you on easy ways to do this from home and starting right now. We receive so many great questions, and while we can't answer them all, we categorize them into a few topics. So in this video, we're going to cover briefly what is the immune system, what should I eat, what should I drink, what should I not eat, what else can I do, and is there anything that I should take? All right, so let's briefly talk about this very esoteric concept called the immune system. It's a whole network of cells and tissue and organs all over the body, and they work together in concert to protect the body from infection. So what's involved? The first thing is your skin, right? So that's the first line of defense. Your bloodstream. There is an organ, two organs called the thymus and spleen, lymph nodes and lymph fluid that travel all over your body. There is bone marrow. There's also the mucosal lining. It sounds gross, but we all have mucus in our body, which is a good thing. It forms a barrier in the digestive tract and the respiratory tract. And speaking of the digestive tract, did you know, pop quiz, close to 70% of the immune cells are in the digestive tract. And it is home to the gut microbiome, which is the collection of good gut bacteria. And one of its roles is to help modulate immune responses. So this is why gut health is so important for immune health. So we're first going to talk about, and Stacy is going to take this away, what to eat to support immune health. Stacy?
Okay, so yes, we got a lot of questions about what to eat for immune health. And so what I want to answer is, what does an immune supporting plate look like? So what I like to say when you're focusing on your immune system, but also just any day, we really recommend getting 5 to 7 servings of vegetables and 2 to 3 servings of fruits daily. We really want you to eat the rainbow, to get a variety of fruits and vegetables, and really to choose fruits and vegetables that you enjoy eating and that taste good to you. So when you're looking at your plate, again, you want to eat the rainbow. You want to focus on a variety of vegetables: bell peppers, cauliflower, tomatoes, mushrooms, broccoli. There's so many wonderful vegetables with immune boosting properties. If you have IBS or SIBO, or you're following a low FODMAP diet, there are also vegetables that you can focus on within that group. Carrots and Swiss chard and kale and squashes are great. There's the Monash app, which talks about which foods fit into a low FODMAP diet, and you can use that to look for vegetables. And it's important to remember that portion size really matters. With FODMAP foods, so for example, 3/4 a cup of broccoli heads are considered low FODMAP. But if you eat more, then you're getting into moderate or even high FODMAP. So the app can really help you with portion control with that as well. And if your digestive system is sensitive to eating these vegetables, it can be really helpful to take the seeds out, to peel the vegetables, to cook them. You can make purees or even soups. And that's just a great way to get a variety in your diet. There's wonderful fruits that are high in antioxidants, high in vitamin C, which I will go into later, but grapefruit, other citrus fruits like lemons and limes, pineapples, kiwis, oranges, mangoes, all very nutrient dense. Berries, which are low glycemic, but still have a lot of antioxidants and some wonderful immune boosting properties. Like Sara just mentioned, about 70% of the immune system is in the gut. So it's very important to support and diversify our microbiome with fermented foods. So these are foods such as kimchi, sauerkraut, pickled vegetables, beet kvass, all very nourishing to the gut. And we always like to suggest, if you can tolerate it, prebiotic foods. And prebiotic foods help feed the normal flora, help feed the good bacteria in our gut. And the bonus is that these foods also have other immune boosting properties. These are foods like artichoke, garlic and onions, legumes, bananas, asparagus. And again, some of these are not low FODMAP, so really see which vegetables work for you, considering your digestion. You want to make sure to eat enough healthy fats. I'll briefly touch on micronutrients later, but a lot of these fat-soluble vitamins really need fat to improve absorption. So these are fats like extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil, if dairy is tolerated, butter and ghee, and then proteins. You know, there's great animal sources of protein with wild salmon. If you are eating meat, chicken thighs are a great source of zinc. Pastured eggs are wonderful. If you can tolerate dairy, yogurt is great for your immune system. And then legumes and beans. There's a variety of grains and nuts and seeds that you can focus on. Oats and rice are gluten-free grains to eat if you're avoiding gluten. Quinoa is a seed that is very nutritious and has a decent amount of protein. And then nuts and seeds have lots of micronutrients, which I will talk a little bit about later. And actually, I can talk about the micronutrients now, Sara. I can talk about foods to focus on when you're supporting your immune system. Vitamin A is very important. It is involved in the creation of certain cells, including B and T cells, and these play a central role in your immune response. It also regenerates mucosal barriers, Sara mentioned before, with the mucus, such as in your lungs. And so foods that are rich in vitamin A include liver, pastured egg yolks are wonderful, and extra virgin cod liver oil is a great source of vitamin A. Vegetable sources contain a lipid-soluble precursor of vitamin A called beta-carotene. And there's wonderful sources of beta-carotene in foods like sweet potato, bell pepper, spinach, carrots, mango, apricots. Think of those red, orange, yellow pigmented foods. And like I mentioned before, consuming fat with these vegetables and fruits will really increase the bioavailability of the beta-carotene. Vitamin C is a big immune booster, and a lack of vitamin C can make you more prone to being sick. So it's important to have enough vitamin C in your diet. Glutathione is our super antioxidant and an important immune modulator, and vitamin C helps protect glutathione and make it easier to absorb in the body. So foods high in vitamin C include citrus fruits, bell peppers, all colors, dark leafy greens, papaya, cantaloupe, kiwi, berries, all lovely sources of vitamin C and delicious sources as well. Vitamin D is a very important micronutrient for immune health. We make vitamin D through a process that starts when your skin is exposed to sunlight, but not everyone does this well or has access to enough sun. Some people have to supplement, but there's also some food sources, extra virgin cod liver oil, which I mentioned for vitamin A as well. So that's a great source because you get vitamin A and vitamin D together, and that works well together. Cold water fatty fish, such as salmon, sardines, mackerel, shellfish, and then pastured egg yolks again, which I had mentioned before for vitamin A. Zinc is crucial for normal development and function of cells mediating the immune system. Zinc is also a cofactor to produce glutathione, which I mentioned before. Oysters are a very rich source of zinc and the best source really, but you can get it from red meat like lamb or beef, crab, turkey, pork, and chicken have some amounts. There's also moderate amounts of zinc in legumes and also nuts, like pine nuts, pecans, Brazil nuts, or also seeds like pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds have moderate amounts of zinc as well. And last one I want to touch on is selenium, which is also a cofactor for glutathione, like I mentioned zinc is. And Brazil nuts are an incredibly selenium-rich food. Just 2 nuts provides a great amount of selenium for the day. No need to overdo it. And besides Brazil nuts, you can get selenium from seafoods and organ meats as well. And we've got some questions about specific immune boosting foods. And so what I'd like to talk about is my favorites, which are really using herbs and spices in foods. Not only does it make it delicious and tastier, but there's such great immune boosting properties in these herbs and spices. So my favorite is making thyme tea. So I just use dried thyme that you would use in cooking. Put about 2 to 3 teaspoons in a mug, add the hot water, put a plate on top, and let it steep for about 10, 15 minutes. And then you can drink that. You can add lemon juice to it if you'd like. And it's very antiviral and can be very soothing for your throat.
Do you strain out the thyme?
Yes. Make sure to strain out the thyme. Thank you, Sarah. And then ginger. Ginger is another one that I love. You can cook with ginger. You can make ginger tea. But ginger, actually, if you make ginger juice, it freezes really well. So you can get raw ginger if you have a juicer and juice it and freeze it into ice cube trays. And then you can just pop one out every day. And then you have you have a shot of ginger juice that you can take, which has incredible antiviral properties. Garlic is a great one, a favorite one if you tolerate garlic. When you crush garlic, it releases a chemical called allicin, and there's many health properties in it, but one is that it's a great antiviral. It also helps your body absorb zinc. So, and if you're low FODMAP and you can't tolerate garlic, you can always crush it and added some extra virgin olive oil to it. The allicin releases into the oil. And then if you tolerate the garlic oil, you can use it to cook with. Some people even put it into empty capsules and take it like a supplement. And there's many other herbs and spices that are wonderful. Oregano, basil, parsley, cilantro are very medicinal herbs. And then the spices like turmeric and cloves and cinnamon and cumin. Medicinal mushrooms are great. You can add them to soups and use it for cooking, for flavoring. So when you're cooking with herbs and spices, think curries, think Indian food, Mexican food, Italian food, just really full.
Pumpkin spice.
What?
Pumpkin
What was
spice.
that?
Pumpkin spice. We're bringing it
Yes,
back.
yes, pumpkin spice with the cinnamon and the cloves and nutmeg. Yes, great source. And so, and I know we got some questions about hydrating and making sure you're having enough water to keep your immune system boosted.
Yeah, so let's talk more about what to drink and how to stay hydrated. Being well hydrated is super important for immune health. It helps all, excuse me, all of the immune cells function optimally. It helps the blood and lymph flow all over our body. It helps the digestive tract function properly. If you're experiencing constipation, that's often caused by dehydration. And it helps us detoxify and process our waste. So when we sweat, when we pee, when we poop, I know those are very scientific terms, but that's a really important process. What to drink? Cheers, water. You can add lemon, lime, orange, mint, cucumber. You can make spa water, for flavor. Herbal or decaffeinated teas are a great option. But also think of liquid foods. So like soups, broths, smoothies. A lot of fruits and vegetables are very juicy and they contribute to your water intake. For those of you who love caffeine and coffee, I'm often called the fun police by my clients, but I just want to remind you that caffeine is dehydrating. So if you are drinking caffeinated beverages, think about taking in more water to compensate for the loss that you might be experiencing. And speaking of the fun police, the next topic is what not to drink. And that is alcohol, booze. It's a gastric irritant and it causes inflammation in the digestive tract. It also disrupts the gut microbiome, which is the collection of good gut bacteria, which we want to keep those guys happy. And lastly, alcohol also weakens the immune system and makes you more susceptible to infections. And then our next topic, so we just covered what to eat, what to drink, what not to drink. We're going to cover what not to eat. So hopefully, once you've added all of those wonderful whole foods, fresh vegetables, fresh fruits, whole grains, nuts, seeds, wild, fresh or wild caught fish, etc. Once you've added all of this to your diet to support your immune health, hopefully you won't have much room for processed foods. So, what's a processed food? Well, if it comes in a package and it has a long list of ingredients, chances are that's a processed food. And also most fast food is made from processed food. These things have artificial ingredients and preservatives and high fructose corn syrup. And these ingredients can cause inflammation in the digestive tract. And again, remember, the digestive tract is where most of our immune cells are. And we want to keep that whole area very happy and very calm. Also, your immune system may not recognize processed food in those artificial ingredients and preservatives. So when your body doesn't recognize it, it will mount an inflammatory response. And that's clearly not what we're going for right now. So I'm sure you'd rather have your immune system be ready to fight an infection versus fighting the food that you're eating. So fun police is now gone. Let's talk about what else can you do. There are two things that probably top the list for this. The first one is managing stress. We know this is an incredibly stressful time. I'm in New York, Stacy's in San Francisco, both in COVID-19 hotspots. We can't change that, right? But what we can do is control the way we react to stress. Chronic stress can compromise the immune system and the digestive system. And when we're stressed, our bodies release a hormone called cortisol. And too much cortisol can cause a reduction in white blood cells. And these guys, they fight off the bacteria and viruses. Too much cortisol can also cause inflammation in the digestive tract. So again, you're starting to see like a pattern here. We want to keep the digestive system happy because that's where the immune cells are. But right, so, like I said, this is a really stressful, unsettling time. And there are a few ways that we can manage stress and manage the way our body is reacting to stress. So I'm just going to list a few things, but really, it's about choosing the things that resonate with you, choosing the things that you enjoy doing. First one is exercise. A lot of my clients say that they exercise to manage stress. So you can exercise at home. If you have a yard, I'm super jealous. I would kill to have a yard right now. Exercise in your yard. Go for a walk if your community is allowing you to go outside the home, but obviously keep your distance from others. Bike riding, hiking. Again, if you have a yard, perhaps you like to garden or yard work. I would love pulling weeds right now. But also there's yoga, meditation. And even though we're distancing socially in person right now, talking to friends, family, FaceTiming, texting, reaching out to a therapist if you have one or need one, but also reading, doing artwork, knitting, cooking, baking. I see a lot of cooking and baking going on right now on social media. But one of the more simple things that you can do is, and you can do it anytime, anywhere, are simple breathing exercises. And I'm going to post a link to some simple breath work that I demonstrate. So there's a link in our resources below. And speaking of resources, we also have this list of incredible free or low-cost resources that offer some wonderful ways to decompress and help manage some of the stress right now. The other important thing that's really imperative for immune health is sleep. And not getting enough quality sleep can impair your immune health. And it does that by reducing the amount of specific immune cells that can fight off infections. Most people need 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night. And if you're now working from home, this could be an ideal time to work on your sleep hygiene, which are those habits that encourage a great night's sleep. Just a few things that you can consider is going to bed at the same time each night, turning off the screens, the TVs, the computers, the iPads, your phones. Those screens emit a blue light that is just too stimulating, and it prevents us from getting quality sleep. So if you turn off those screens about an hour before going to bed, it really helps to decompress and de-stimulate the mind so that you can get quality sleep. And then also, not eating at least 3 hours before bed is not only good for improving sleep, but also improves your digestion as well. And then our last topic is, we got a lot of questions about, what types of supplements to take or not take. And this is where it gets a little complicated. We don't know your health situation. We don't know the health conditions you have. We don't know the medications you're taking. So we really can't advise specifically. But what we want to stress is it's important to get all your nutrients from your diet, or as much as you can. We also, in the resources section below, encourage you to check the supplements that you're taking or considering taking to see if there are any contraindications, which means, are there any reasons you shouldn't be taking this supplement? Because they often are not appropriate for certain medical conditions, or if you're taking another supplement, or if you're taking a medication where there could be a potential interaction. And also, somebody else far more qualified than we are did an amazing job of summarizing the research of nutritional and herbal supplements that can help support immune health. And this is Dr. Aviva Ram. She's an amazing resource, and we're going to link to her podcast in the resources section below. I would encourage you, if you're thinking about taking supplements, to listen to her podcast. She does go over the evidence-based, which means medical research supports taking certain supplements where they could be helpful to support immune health. So again, we provide a whole list of resources on this page below. And we just want to say, yeah, we know it's hard to implement all these changes at once. It would be hard for anybody. So just start with wherever feels right for you, whichever seems the easiest, whichever is accessible for you, and then build from there. Stacy, do you have any last words or questions before we wrap up?
No, just thanks everyone, and stay healthy, and please look at the resources and take advantage of it. There's a lot of great information there to really support you during this time. So thank you.
Great. Yes. Thanks for watching, and we wish everyone good health to you and your loved ones. And if you have any questions, please post them in the comments below. All right. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.